Thank you for tuning in. I'm here with Sherene, our resident astrologer, and Pug Life, Harpo in the house.
Harpo, yeah, he's always got to be in the shot.
I know, he's the best. He's the best in the world. I think he's just gonna hang out the whole time. So, we're talking about some stuff that's going on in the skies right now. You might be feeling it. I know a couple of my clients have mentioned different variations of the way that they're experiencing this right now. We're kind of naming it FOBLO, fear of being left out, not being invited to the party, feeling like you're missing out. Not even missing out, but feeling like you're being left out, basically. Like not invited. So I'll hand it off to Shane, and she can school us a little bit on what you might be experiencing, and the work that you can do around it, so you don't, so you don't fall apart.
Yeah, well, today the moon is in Aries, and it's totally activating this particular aspect that's going to be going on basically all summer and through the fall, like on and off. And what it is if you have Aries in your chart, you're really feeling this. It's Uranus, which is the god of chaos, we say, or like the god that awakens us to unexpected or breaks us out of a certain mode. And the goddess Eris, which is she's an asteroid actually, and she's also called the goddess of discordia. So these two are merging together right now in Aries, in the constellation of Aries. So wherever you have Aries in your chart, especially around 23 degrees, if you know what that means, if not, just wherever Aries hits your chart, this is totally getting activated. And what this is this feeling. Eris really rules this feeling of being left out of the party. She basically creates hell because she feels left out. So then all chaos breaks loose.
If we go into like the mythology of Eris,
that's the mythology.
Well.
Yeah, sorry.
If we refer back to the story,
that's the mythology behind it. So we're all feeling that trigger of like maybe in our childhood or our teenage years where we weren't like in the club, invited to the party. We didn't make the team, we didn't make the cut, whatever it is where we feel like we've been left out. And obviously in adult life, this can translate more into like missing out on something, like, feeling like life is passing you by in some way, or like you didn't get invited to you're not part of something that you want to be part of. Right. Social media obviously really feeds this. Yeah. And it's just getting heightened. So if you're feeling it, don't panic and don't feel like there's something wrong with you or that you are actually missing out. I think the key in dealing with this energy, because it's Aries, it does bring out our competitive side. And by the way, Aries is ruled by Mars, which we had another video about, the Mars retrograde. And Mars is retrograding in Scorpio, which intensifies the feeling of competition, jealousy, potential jealousy, or just wanting to have like a sense of passion and purpose and power in the world. So if we're not feeling totally like living our passion, this could also trigger this feeling of like compare and despair when we look out at what's happening in other people's lives. And that's where the Aries energy comes in, this whole configuration we just talked about. The FOBLO, we're calling it, or the FOMO is more common, but this is more about being left out. So the key really is to use that Mars and Scorpio energy that we have right now until the end of June to go deeper and get in touch with your passion and stop comparing. Like, there is no comparison. When it really comes down to it, the energy that is trying to get activated right now is all about like your own discipline, your own courage, your own conviction, your own passion to do your own thing. Aries is all about being number one. Totally, yeah. But number one, not in comparison to anyone else. You're in competition only with your own life mission, your own goals.
Don't make it about the others, but just do you.
That's the key, just do you.
Just do you. I mean, we hear that all the time anyways, but now more than ever, it's
so
a really good time
essential now. This summer, you're going to really be challenged on that energy. And if you're feeling it, especially today, if this video goes up today, it's really heightened. Or whenever the moon goes into Aries, every month the moon goes into Aries for a couple of days, this gets really set off. And we're going to be, be really feeling that.
And Aries, when we refer to Mars and Aries, think like Aries is a fire sign, right? Mars is fiery, so intensity, like action, explosion, combustion, right? So you might feel a lot of that, like that jealousy. It might trigger anger.
And jealousy, by the way, is an excellent barometer for what we actually need to move more intensely into. So when we feel jealous, it's because often we're not totally committed to that thing, and we see it happening outside of us.
For sure.
So it's really just like a reminder or an awakening to go, wait a minute, I'm jealous because I'm not doing this, or I don't have this thing. So what do I have to do now to move closer toward that real passion that I want to have in my life?
Rather than sulking in that and then going through an Instagram rabbit hole, looking at everybody else's posts.
Exactly, which it can really get fed right now. So if you're aware of it, you can just like stop it dead in its tracks and say, wait a minute, okay, like let me not be in this reaction mode, not start the day in a reaction mode, like responding to what I see out there and what I don't have and focusing on the lack, but think about, wait a minute, what do I need to focus on in my life to really create and bring my game up to the next level?
Right, yeah, and how do I keep innovating myself and keep
reinventing,
leading myself and leading? It's because I feel like Aries is the leader, right? It's like leading the pack. I always refer to Aries as like the general. It's like charging.
Yeah, Mars is too. Mars is the general.
Yeah,
and he's in Scorpio. Both of those signs are very action-oriented. Aries and Scorpio. So both of those signs are feeling an extra push, and we're all feeling like we have to take our game to the next level. Otherwise, we're going to start feeling that I'm being left out, I'm being left behind. Everyone else is excelling. Everyone else is moving on to the next thing, whether it's like getting married, having babies, getting the next level of success, getting more followers, getting whatever it is. We're all feeling that. So rather than focusing on that, it's really important to focus on like, what have I come here to give and contribute? And am I really living that to the fullest, most passionate potential? And realizing, like, it goes back to my favorite artist, Martha Graham, who says, our only job is, it's not about comparison. We're not here to compare. Our only job is to keep the channel open and to keep it clear. And not even to decide how good it is, because then that interrupts the whole creative process. But if we're just focused on keeping our own channel and knowing that whatever comes through us will never exist in this particular form again, we'll stay committed to that and we'll keep our focus on the right thing, on the right prize.
Yeah, just keep creating.
Keep creating. Yeah. Just keep creating and moving forward.
And create your own party too, right? That's again that other lesson too. It's like create your own party. It's like, who cares if you feel like you're being left out? This is, you're noticing that, so that it is that opportunity to be like, well, maybe you should have been creating that party you've been talking about creating for a hot minute already, or whatever that party might be.
Exactly. If you're in the wrong club, like you don't feel like you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole in the particular party you're in, maybe it's time to leave that party.
Yeah.
And either create your own. That could be your job. That could be the group the community you're in. It may be time to leave and create your own thing. Luckily, now that we're not in high school or middle school, we actually have choices. When you're younger, you don't have a lot of choices.
Totally. You're either in or out. Ugh.
Yeah, which sucks. So we sometimes think that we're still in that, even in our jobs or whatever, in our adult life. But the truth is, you can now find the courage to go and create your own party. Exactly.
Totally, create your own party. Yeah, and that's. When we were talking about this earlier, I was like, that's exactly why I created So Fit, right? Like, I kind of felt like, I'm this trainer, group fitness, yoga, mystic, unicorn person. It's like, I'm not really feeling like and I've kind of felt like that even through high school. Like, I was like the athlete, like hip hop kid, like getting into trouble, but still wanted to go to college. And like, it's just hard, and you got to create your own shit.
Well, they say you look at the outcast or the delinquent to see who are going to be the really top-notch entrepreneurs.
Is that right? That's awesome.
Yeah. So we can use this energy to fuel our vision.
Yeah, totally.
That's the key right now, I think.
I wonder, like, would you say that it's a good time for entrepreneurs in that way?
Excellent
time. To like use that drive, and it can actually, for those that are entrepreneurial, that might be actually feeling the comparison and that like notice that, and instead like it's like, no, actually this is the universe's way of telling you like, yo, just like fire it off.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it, like go for it. Yeah, like put it out there already. Just don't hesitate. Like otherwise,
no compare despair. That kills all art, all creativity. The compare despair, and that's why even Brendan Burchard says get off social media. Like in terms of like first thing of the day, like don't start in that reactive mode where you're in comparison or you're in response. Good. Yeah. It really makes a difference.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't look at my phone for the whole first hour.
Yeah.
After I got up.
The first 15 minutes of waking up, you're not supposed to.
15?
50.
Okay, 50.
Yeah, like an hours.
Yeah.
He puts everything in 50-minute chunks. But yeah, the idea of really going into a creative space versus a reactive or compare despair space is really the key.
Creative space versus reactive space.
Or compare despair.
Yeah, or compare despair. Perfect. I feel like that's a great way to end on that note, right? Like pull out of the compare despair and instead go into that creative.
Keep the channel open.
Keep the channel open. Keep creating. That's the message.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.